All right, let's roll out to Phoenix, Arizona and talk to Jamie. Hey, Jamie, what's up?
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Partying, how are you?
Good. So I don't know what I need, okay? I can't seem to get out of bed at 4 a.m.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
I'm very goal-orientated. I know how to do the stretch goals. I know how to do the step breakdowns. I know how to create a plan. I'm just not excited at 4 a.m. when it's time to get up and get my plan in order.
Why does your plan have to begin at 4 a.m.?
Because I have my homestead after work routine. I have my bedtime self-care routine. I get 8 hours of sleep. I want to start doing yoga and gym, like doing like home workouts. The only time that I can seem to get into that routine is at 4 a.m.
You're so awesome. You know who you are? You are literally everybody right now. Everybody. It's so, you being brave enough to call and have this conversation out in the open is going to help a whole lot of people. So I'm really awesome. So I'm going to tell you, if you've listened to the show for more than a couple of years, you remember I used to detail my morning routines, and they were insane. They're insane. They're minute by minute. I wrote every minute out. I planned it to a T. I'd get up from the middle of breakfast with my kid because I'd be like, all right, it's time for step. Dude, I was militant. And you know who completely broke me of that? Is a guy who swung by the studios a few months ago. His name's Alex Hermosi. And if you're in the entrepreneurial world, that's a name that you'll know. But here's what he said about morning routines. He said, if you become a slave to your morning routine, if you become chained to your morning routine, then the thing this routine was supposed to give you, which is health and freedom and the ability to go do hard things, gets undermined by the fact that you're getting dragged behind a truck down the highway. That's my interpretation. Because now, Jamie, your routine, these beneficial activities like yoga, working out, sleep, they aren't benefiting you. They're beating the crap out of you. Right?
Yep.
You're gonna be the healthiest, exhausted, dead person of all time. Fair?
Yeah, fair.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
So my bigger question is, what are you hoping to get from this routine? And by the way, I'm going to circle back because routines are very important. I have a few things that I do not budge on, but I'm going to tell you, I've got a lot more peace in my life, and my health, my biomarkers, my blood, my sleep has continued to improve. So Alex was on to something, right? Tell me what these things are, what have you put these in place for? What are they getting you?
So I know that if I start doing them now, I will feel healthier when I get older, and they're already part of my life, so I can, continue to improve as, my joints start to hurt and stuff like that. But it's just, I know that if I don't start now.
How do you know that?
Because everyone hurts when they're older.
No. A, that's not true. B, how do you know that if you just start doing it now, then when you're older? So basically what you're saying is if I fight myself, if I go to war with myself every morning at 4 a.m. for the next 30 years, then when I'm 70, 80, 90, then it's going to be easy.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's bad math. That's bad math.
Okay.
Tell me what you're doing all this for.
Just to try to better myself when I'm older. Like I'm 30 plus years old and I can't touch my toes.
Okay.
And it's just kind of like, I feel like I should be able to touch my toes.
Okay. So let's stop casting this off to future Jamie and let's talk right now.
Okay.
Do you not feel good anymore?
No, I feel excellent. I'm in the best shape of my life.
You just can't touch your toes?
I just can't touch my toes.
So what about adding a couple of days of mobility to your workout? Ta-da! Right? Why? My question is, why do you have to go start a yoga routine? a dedicated yoga routine that you got to get up at 4 a.m. and drive across the state, which means if you're going to get your 8 hours, you got to go to bed at 8:45, which means you're going to cut off social time, you're going to cut off connectivity, you're going to cut off reading, you're going to cut off these things that are of vital importance so that you can get this thing, so you can do this thing, so you can do this thing, so you can touch your toes.
Yeah. Yep.
Let me be like, if I'm super honest, the reason my routine was so madhouse is because I watched some guys on Instagram that I wanted to be like, and they had routines like that.
Yeah, like for me, I think I see my grandma who's 96 and can run a faster 5K than I can, jokingly, but she's in still the best shape of her life. And I know I'm not nearly as good in a good shape as her. So I just worry that I'm not going to be able to be in good shape later on. So I'm trying to do it right now or get it into a routine right now.
I love that. Let's create a routine that serves the life we want to live right now and that invests in the life we want to have when we're 95. I love that. That's what Dr. Attia does so beautifully, right? And if you've heard about Dr. Attia, he trains his patients for this thing he made up called the Centurion Olympics. What are the things that I want to be able to do physically when I'm 100? And what do I have to start doing now in my 30s, 40s, and 50s so that I can do these things later on?
That's what I needed. That's what I need. Okay.
So I want you to pick up his book. It's called Outlive. It's a masterpiece. It's very long, and he does a pretty good job. He's the smartest human I've ever come across in my life, ever. But he does a good job of distilling this down. But the idea is the Centurion Olympics. But I'm going to tell you, he is also somebody who's transformed. I first ran across his material back in 2012 when he was in the middle of, or beginning, he didn't have a gram of sugar for like 3 years or something like that, trying to make the case about ketosis and things like that. He's one of the early guys in that. And now he'll tell you, yeah, ethanol's bad for you. Alcohol's not good for you at all. But if you're with close friends and you got the good stuff, enjoy your life, right? Because why? Because what's the point, right?
Yeah.
And so let me tell you, some things I don't budge on. I work out, I move my body every day. Sometimes that's throwing on a Go Ruck bag with some weights in it, and I walk on a treadmill. I got a new Assault Fitness treadmill. It's the greatest thing of all time. And I walk on it for half an hour. Is that a good workout? No. Is that moving my body? Yep. This morning, I went real hard for too long. Like I overdid it this morning. That's cool. I'm just going to do something every day. I'm going to move every day. Also, because of my friend Jordan's site, I feel like this show is just me talking about buddies who've influenced my life. I've incorporated a couple of days of movement into my life. I went to my daughter's Taekwondo practice yesterday, and I remembered when I was doing MMA, I used to be able to stand, just look at another guy, pick up my foot and put my heel on his shoulder. And I'm struggling to touch my toes. I was like you. I'm like, I need to start doing that. But I'm not getting up at 4 a.m. You know why? Because I want to laugh really hard at 9:30 or 9 o'clock or 8:30 with my 14-year-old. I want to hang out with my wife. I want to be able to be there when my 8-year-old daughter refuses to go to bed and we're on bedtime number 14, right? I don't want to miss out on that stuff. So I'm not going to get up at 4. I just did a thing with Jocko a month ago. Dude gets up at 4. That's how he rolls. That's cool. I'm excited. I mean, it's awesome. It's cool to see that example out there. That's not for me in my season with 2 young kids and a long drive to work and farm chores and a crazy travel schedule. So I want you to give yourself some grace. Is that cool?
Yes.
So let me ask you the question underneath all of this. Do you like Jamie?
I'm starting to. If you asked me 3 years ago, it would have been no, but
why not?
I'm really starting to enjoy her.
Why didn't you like her?
I had no self-confidence, nothing. And it's been a 3-year journey to build that. And I think I have really great self-confidence now. And
your self-confidence is built not on like some vision board, but it's built on, no, I'm actually getting up and doing things, right? That's amazing.
Yeah.
Let's don't go overboard. And I know I'm always telling people you got to be disciplined, you got to get up and do it. And occasionally, the healthiest, most disciplined thing you can do is rest. Is not add yet another thing to your calendar, but instead incorporate it in. That means I'm going to do 1 week, 1 workout of weights less than normal. You're going to be great. I'm going to stretch. You're going to be great. I'm going to sit down and have coffee with my grandmother as often as humanly possible. Because I promise you, she was not getting up at 4 a.m. to do yoga, then go to Pilates, and then go do a weight workout, and then go run a 5K. That's not what she was doing. She was probably taking care of the cows, right?
Yep.
Yeah. She's just working. You sound like a pretty amazing woman.
I'm trying to be.
All right. I'm going to give you something that's counterintuitive.
Okay.
Goals that stick are tied to an identity. Who are you going to be? I'm actually becoming less and less and less and less a fan of goals. I'm way more a fan of identity. Who are you? Jamie, you're a woman who does hard things. You're a woman who is going to be able to roll around with her kids when she's 95, or grandkids. Cool. Here's the things I got to do. I'm not just going to say, I'm going to go run 500 miles, like, because for why? So I want you to spend a little bit of time with yourself, with Jamie, writing 4 or 5 or 6 identity statements. I'm a woman who. And then back up, what are some things I have to do to make that identity true? What are some actions I have to do on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis? The second thing is when you start adding habits in, the lower the friction, the more fun and the more repeatable they are, the more likely you are to be successful. That's Atomic Habits, right? Small,
I love that.
Small, bite size. You can do them over and over, and there's very low friction. If you're somebody who just busts open at 4 a.m., knock your lights out. If that's easy for you, cool. If you're one of the few people who can get by on 8 minutes of sleep, man, more power to you. That's not most of us.
Nope.
Is that fair?
Nope. It's very fair, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm proud of you. Stop going to war with my friend Jamie. Now, for everybody listening, this is not permission to be like, oh, sweet, we don't have to work out. That's not what I said. We don't got to get up early. That's not what I said. We can stay up all night. That's not what I said. I'm saying there's a difference between really taking care of yourself, really honoring yourself, having an identity, having some things you want to accomplish and achieve, and then going to absolute bloody war with yourself to get there. There's a difference. And if over a sustained period of time, your body is rejecting your efforts to get stronger, to get in shape, to lose weight, go talk to somebody. Because after 1 week, 2 weeks of not eating sugar, you know what happens? My body feels freaking amazing. And I have to force myself to get back on that train. After a couple of weeks of not working out, lifting weights, and then you start lifting weights again, my body feels incredible. Whew. It's when I'm like, I'm going to wake up at 3:30 a.m. In a couple of weeks, my sleep score is so bad, I can't move. And my body's fighting me. That's a different thing. Now we got a different problem. Proud of you, lady. I'm proud of you. Everybody out there, write down a few sentences. Who are you? I'm going to be a man or woman who is a good steward of their body. I'm going to be a person who's a good steward of my finances. And then begin to put in the actions. What must be true then?